This is my intro music. Welcome to the video. I hope you like it lots, so don't forget to subscribe and click the thumbs up button. Now let's react.
Hey, hi, hello then, welcome to Big Hair Day. Anyway, I'm tired. I haven't been feeling very good lately, ever since this heat wave hit. I don't know how many other people are experiencing this, but it's kind of like the reverse of sad. So, because it's so hot, and it's so humid, and it's just miserable, it's just like draining all of the energy I have out of me. So today I decided would be a good day to go back to the gym. So I went to the gym today. Anyway, long story short, I'm tired. But I have gone to Salem. I have recovered from Salem. I then, yes, I did. I went on my anniversary, and now I am back from my anniversary. So we got some Amber to catch up on. I am eventually going to get caught up on all of the stuff that all the shenanigans she's been pulling, and I'm also willing to believe that since I'm recording this, she's probably going to drop another video. However, I was watching Alex's Shook. I always want to just say Alex. I was watching Alex's Shook last night, trying to get caught up on things. And Alex made a really good point about Amber's two most recent videos is they're getting closer and closer to real time, which means the recording gap that Amber had is shrinking. And if Amber stays true to form, when this happens, or when it has happened in the past, she usually vanishes for a week or two and then pops back up and is like, oh my god, you guys. So probably I might get a little bit of a breather here coming up, just going off of past performance. And if that happens, I will gladly get caught up on the episodes that I missed after I got back from Salem, not before. And so we're looking forward to that. So, or Amber might surprise us. It could happen. Let us not hold our breaths. All right, so for those of you new to the channel, we do a thing here called dark anthropology. It is something I have completely made up, so please don't go digging for it. You won't find much on it. But I have several principles of several anthropological principles formed around the concept of dark anthropology, which is the study of the darker aspects of human culture, including manipulation, and I'm applying it to YouTube and Amberlynn specifically. Though Anna's day is coming, because I've already done one video doing this with Anna, but definitely we need to do another one here with this whole lipedema surgery thing that she's been doing. So keep an eye out for that. But I mentioned in an earlier video that I was going to be renaming a couple principles just because they're the name doesn't really reflect what it is we're talking about. And I think probably the most confusing one was the principle of differentiation versus I forget what it used to be called. The principle of integration versus differentiation. That one was kind of confusing because, like, I don't think those two words meant what I thought they meant. Anyway, so we're going to go with a new term, which I think is a little bit more descriptive of what exactly that principle is talking about, which we're going to call it the principle of intent versus reception, because that's what we're talking about. The intent of the creator and the creation that they are putting out there, and then the reception of that by the audience can be two completely different things. So, like, Amber in her videos are a really good example. Amber projects out these certain things, these ideas, look how awesome I am. Look at me suffering. Look at me this. Look at me that. Look at my fake girlfriend that nobody can see who lives in Canada, and she totally doesn't go to your high school, so you wouldn't know who she is. Look at her. And then the reception of it by the audience is completely different than what Amber had intended for it to be. Anna over at Glitter and Lasers is having the exact same problem right now with her lipedema surgery storyline, because she's expecting everybody to rally behind her and be like, yay, what a brave little toaster. And mostly what I'm seeing from the comments before she deletes them are people being like, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? Is this safe? Should you be doing this? Who's allowing you to go for surgery for this? So that's going to be another video to talk about, but those are the two best examples of intent versus reception, which is our name of our new principle. It's not a new principle. It's a new name for an old principle. We're still going to be going over covert motivations. I think that one's pretty self-explanatory. Talking about the hidden agenda behind the things that our girls do. Then there's ethic reflexivity. We don't touch on it a lot, but we will be talking about it quite a bit with Anna. We talk about it sometimes with Amber, especially during this whole Ozempic phase, which I have a feeling is coming to a close. But the idea that, everybody's allowed to share their story, and I'm not saying don't do that, but what happens with Amber and was with Anna, especially right now, is they start sharing their story and they start focusing solely on themselves, and they're not thinking about how their story or their actions or their behavior is going to affect the rest of their audience, right? So they're not thinking about people who might be considered vulnerable in their audience, or people who might be very easily influenced to a part of their audience. They're not taking those people into consideration, or if they are taking those people into consideration, it's for a manipulative purpose, right? So they're trying to rally these people to them, or they're trying to influence these people to do the things that they are doing, even though they will sit there and be like, no, totally, don't go do this thing I'm doing, but here's a link if you want to go do it, kind of a thing. All right. So that was the principle of ethical reflexivity. We've also got the principle of power dynamics, which again, I think is pretty self-explanatory. We're just discussing the power dynamics of the relationships, parasocial or otherwise, between creators and their audiences. And those are the four that I had to count in my head. Those are the four that we pretty much focus on for the most part when we're talking about these channels. I think 4 is pretty good. I think that's a good start. We're still hammering those out for the most part, but I think most people are understanding where I'm coming from, because I ask that a lot, and a lot of people say that they do understand they are picking up what I'm putting down. There you go. But I just kind of wanted to go over those before we dove back into Amber, because again, I've been gone for a bit. I thought it might be good to kind of refresh everything, just make sure we're all on the same page. And I believe that we are. If you are really, really new here, I am a retired archaeologist. I was in the field for 20, 25 years, give or take. I don't care. I'm a trained anthropologist, and I do this for fun. Before we get any further, I want to say thank you to my subscribers. Thank you to my members. You guys rock. I owe my members some members only content, which sounds super adulty, but it's really not that deep. And thank you to everybody who's going to hit the thumbs up button. You guys rock. If this is your second or third video, you might as well subscribe. You are obviously sticking around for a while, and the algorithm's going to shove it down your throat anyway. So yeah, that's all I've got. I have her sped up to time and a quarter. This is a 12 minute and some change video. This is what happened with my ex and semaglutide. It's not how you say it. Semaglutide isn't working anymore. Log. I'm pretty sure I said she sped up to time and a quarter, so if she seems particularly animated, that's just because I sped her up. Go!
Hello you guys, so
Hi.
welcome to a new vlog. It is currently June 28th. So I just got back from the package room. I had this massive package in there because I got a new cat scratcher. I also got new shampoo
Cat scratch fever.
conditioner. A lot of people have been recommending this brand right here, Redken. So I'm excited to try it.
Who are these people? I don't spend enough time in her comments section because they really do get ugly after a while. And also a lot of them are just saying the exact same thing over and over again. So I just don't care. But like, who are these people that are making these recommendations? Because like, I don't believe that. I just don't.
It is kind of pricey. So obviously I got the shampoo and conditioner, but I also got the All Soft Moisture Restore. So it's a leave-in treatment. This is good for like dry and brittle hair.
You should totally use it on your face.
And hair that has been fried way too much. And then this
Your hair is not fried exactly. It's more like it's just unhealthy in general. Like, that's why everybody keeps telling you to cut off all the dead ends, is because like your hair is just split, and hair splits. That's what happens. That's why you have to trim the dead ends off. I know there's a couple people that argue with me about that, but you can just trim the dead ends off when they're only like an inch long, and the hair will grow, and you won't have 2 feet of dead hair.
This is the cat tree I got. I like to get them new ones. So I'll put this together probably in a different vlog because I am a little busy today. So
doing?
Excited to show you guys what that looks like once it's all put together. And then last but not least,
Ah, yes, the purse.
I did keep this cute little purse, okay? I've just really been enjoying, like...
Does she still have that lips necklace? I hated it. But, like, this is all I can think of. It was rhinestones. It was just red rhinestones.
Small, cute purses. And these are, like, pink lips. It's just adorable. So thankfully it does come with a strap on the inside. It is in a knot, so...
Is that what that is?
Gonna try getting that out. All right.
This is a really flimsy chain.
All right, that wasn't too bad. So I'm gonna unhook them and then hook it onto here. Hook number 1 and hook number 2. This was honestly so cheap. They also had a red one and a light pink one. Yeah.
Also, the editing gets super annoying here, so just letting you know, that's a her thing, not a me thing.
Yeah. Go back to where I said, this is so cheap. This was honestly so cheap. She already broke.
Girl, you just tried to take a purse that was made for children and wear it like a full-ass necklace, and it's made to be a choker on you, and you're wondering why the chain broke. They didn't make it to go around that circumference. I'm not even being mean here. This is a children's purse, right?
She already broke. This was honestly so cheap. Ugh, that is so frustrating because it's so cute. I mean, I get it because this chain here does not feel the greatest. This was honestly so cheap. I'm gonna go see if I have like another chain from a different purse. I'll be right back. Okay, I want to make it very obvious that this purse was $7.99, so it was like $8. This was honestly.
I don't care. I really don't care about this either. I will say the new chain does hit her the way a purse is supposed to hang, right?
So cheap, but I did have this little.
Like, if you can kind of see, it's like actually at her hip here. If you're gonna wear a crossbody, that's where a crossbody is supposed to rest, is on your hip. So if your purse isn't right in there, get a new strap. Most purses, not all, most purses, you can swap the chains out or the straps out. I have a handful that are all cosplay stuff, which means they're cheap, that you can't do that with because they're like sewn in. But even then, needle and thread will fix a lot of things.
Strap here, just an extra one that I had. So the purse is cute, like it is. So I'm not too mad about it. Like it's worth the $8 for sure, even though
Sure.
it broke. This was honestly so cheap, but honestly, I'm not hard to please. I'm very much one of them girly pops that tries to find the positive in everything. And the positive is I have a cute pink lip purse.
Yes, we all have to have life goals. And that clearly is yours. Good times.
And that's that. So a little bit of a semaglutide update. I don't know what's going on, but it literally hasn't been working.
Oh, it hasn't, has it?
I actually contacted the med spa because like that was massively worrying me. And I was like, what should I do? And they told me to take another beginning dose and then to take another beginning dose in a few days. And
so you called them after taking the dose that you increased. So you're taking, I think she was started out at 0.25. So she would double that. So she's at 0.5 now. So she took her 0.5, says it's not working. I know later she says it makes her ravenously hungry. And then the med spa's response to that was take more? Take another 25 after the 50? And then again, a few days later, take another 20. So they're going to jump you all the way up to 1 milligram right off the bat? I don't think so.
something about that, like I have anxiety when it comes to like medicines and
No, you don't.
stuff. Like I'm sure a lot of you know that. Like
We know that that's your lie and that's your go-to whenever you don't want to take medication. You have no problem taking antibiotics like Tic Tacs. So you got no problem doing that. But apparently any actual kind of medication, that you don't like doing.
I just get really anxious with stuff like that. And it's like when I increased my dose this last Saturday, like I felt so sick like the whole Sunday. Like it was really bad. We're not gonna go into detail, but there's a lot of TMI, so just imagine. So
Thanks, Foodie.
I was like expecting the
That's not fair. Foodie would have told us the TMI.
rest of the week, like for me to feel a little bit better, but like to not have my appetite and stuff. But I've just been so hungry, and I'm just like, what? So by taking even more, I was afraid that like I was gonna have those TMI symptoms again, and that I was gonna feel super sick, and like I don't know, like I'm really getting into my head right now, and it's like I told myself I was gonna be super transparent on this journey, but currently semaglutide is not working for me, and I don't know what's going on.
Sure. So the increased dose, I remember she took it and she was like saying she felt really tired, which was something she was complaining about on the 0.25s, which I guess would be a good indicator that it's working. But now she's saying she is super duper nauseous and having TMI symptoms, and yet is still ravenously hungry. I don't know, man.
I have had the syringes for weeks now, so I don't know if like pre-filled syringes, like they lose like potency as time goes on, but either way,
I don't know, because it has to be refrigerated, doesn't it? So I don't know what that means in the world of medicine. I know there's a couple pharmacists on here. I don't know. You guys explain that one to me. Can it have lost potency? Especially if it wasn't stored properly? I guess.
do need to buy a new vial soon. So maybe when I buy a new vial, like it'll start working again. But I am just like so hungry all the time. And I'm just like, damn. So I don't really know. I don't really know the next steps, what to do. And it is a little frustrating because I was just feeling so good. But week 5 and 6 has just been horrendous. And that's just me being honest.
I'm going to cut a little clip in here from the recording that I did before this, talking about a podcast called The Diary of a CEO. And I just want to stop right here and say I highly recommend it. So I'm going to put the link in the description down below. So here's that clip. I did just watch this episode of A Diary of a CEO. The title is The Ozempic Expert. Ozempic transforms your gut microbe. People are being overdosed on Ozempic. He uses very clickbaity titles and very flashy clickbaity thumbnails, but give it a listen. It's actually a really good episode. It's not what you think, okay? This person is very pro Ozempic. But she talks about how, as you can see, I've watched the entire thing. She talks about how she's what she's calling microdosing with Ozempic, where she's usually using even a smaller dose than the 0.25 milligrams that they start people on when they're starting them on their Ozempic journey, their semaglutide journey. And she's basically talking about how keeping that dose very, very low, like so low that you're not experiencing symptoms. So as soon as you start experiencing like nausea or anything like that, or lack of appetite, she actually cuts the dose back. And the reason for that is because she's using it as a hormonal treatment, because Ozempic affects hormones, your hunger hormones, which I knew in the back of my head, but like, I don't know, I guess I needed a doctor to explain it to me, which is how that should work, honestly. She just makes some really interesting, I guess they would be claims about how using a smaller dosage of Ozempic not only like makes you have a healthier gut, but it also, again, all of those really good side effects that Ozempic's having, like the impulse control and the hunger control and the intrusive thoughts and that kind of thing. She claims that she also had like a mental clarity and, you know, not being a rambling idiot kind of a thing. So she was claiming that all of that kind of clears up with the Ozempic as well as PCOS symptoms. And what did she say she had? Some kind of like arthritis that has to do with psoriasis. I didn't even know the two of them were related, but apparently they are. So anyway, she has some really interesting ideas. I really recommend going and watching this particular episode. I'll try to remember to link it. I'll try to remember to put the link down in the description if you guys want to go check it out. But also, this dude does not need me like recommending people go listen to his channel. But honestly, this is probably one of my top favorite podcasts right now, which is The Diary of a CEO. So if you're in the market for a new podcast, there you go. Anyway, back to Amber. And I'm sorry if things are kind of like jumpy all over the place, but there was some recording issues and I just don't want to redo everything, I guess is my point. But anyway, onward.
Y'all, my apartment complex is literally the cutest. So I just came back in and depending on which way I decide to walk her, sometimes I'll go in through the lobby and sometimes I won't. But I came back in through the lobby and they had these like Pride gift bags. So
I feel like Amber's apartment is like an MC Escher painting with all of the like staircases that go into weird designs and yet still overlap upon each other, even though in the real physical world that can't happen. I kind of get that feeling that she lives in some kind of like MC Escher-esque vortex. Just the way she talks about her apartment sometimes. Anyway.
let's do like a haul, an unboxing. So we got some flags, obviously, because Pride Month. I'm actually thinking.
Was that what it is? Was it Pride Month? Was it Pride Month last month? Was it Pride? Was there a thing called Pride going on last month? Was that what the big thing was last month?
about going to Pride again this month, which would literally be in like 2 days. I'm still thinking about it. They do Pride every single weekend here in Oklahoma City. When I told you guys.
Every weekend? I mean, would it even be Pride then? Wouldn't it just be Saturday? I mean, that'd be cool. I would like for these things to be incredibly normalized. That would be like the end goal is for this to not be a thing, you know? The end goal is to just wake up in the morning and not have to worry about telling people things because no one gives a shit. But I think you mean every weekend in June, not every weekend. I don't know. Maybe they do it every weekend. Does anybody else live there? Do you have Pride every weekend? Let me know.
That it's like the gay scene is literally popping here. I wasn't joking. Like, I literally wasn't. So we have some cute purple beads. I'm just obsessed with this concept. I just think it's so sweet, truly.
Concept of what? A bag full of crap? No offense. I'm glad that her apartments is being supportive, like, as opposed to being anti. Most apartments that I've ever lived in during June just don't do anything. It's fine. That's fine, too. So I guess the alternative is them being adamantly against it. So, but it's just a bag full of crap, man.
Oh my god, and a little bracelet thing that says love is love.
Also known as cat toys. I have 3 similar style bracelets rolling around this apartment somewhere. My cats steal them from me. That and my hair ties.
You know what? I'm wearing it. I don't really wear bracelets, but I'm gonna wear this today. And then, wait, is this also a bracelet? With like the rainbow? This is so adorable. I
Joker.
can't. And then last but not least, we have a pin. Look. It's a rainbow. I just think this is so sweet. Like, I honestly like love this apartment complex so much. It's very like community-based living, and every single neighbor that I've made friends with or I've like talked to or that we're acquaintances with, that word's so weird. Like, just literally the nicest people. Like, I'm just obsessed, and I'm totally gonna wear this today. Yes, I am. All right, you guys. So
I was worried you weren't gonna wear that, so I'm glad you clarified that for me.
I think it's time that I clean this mess up because it's looking crazy.
Thank God, because this has been my nightmare for the last... How long have I been gone? Almost month now. When I'm not out doing the things that I went on vacation to go to, including in my anniversary and going to Salem and doing a bunch of really fun stuff, when I haven't been doing any of that, I have been absolutely worried sick about Amber's mini pantry. Do I need a sarcasm flag for that one?
So I have had some questions about these.
No, you
this pack
haven't.
actually only comes with 4 bags. It is a little pricey.
A little?
And the calories is 210, but I literally don't even finish a bag at once. Like, I don't even eat the whole bag.
Does this? Why do you do this? Put it in another bag, put a chip clip on it, do any number of things to properly seal this damn bag. But just shoving it open into the pantry. Okay, that one really does get me. That one really does. That will give me nightmares.
I probably eat half at a time. But anyways, all right. So I just want to show you guys the before. All right, here is after. Looks so much better and more organized, obviously. So up here I have dog treats, some oatmeal. This is
Gotta put them on the high shelf so the dog doesn't get them when you're not looking.
just like a ramen type thing that I got from Target. Mashed potatoes, pasta rice down here, protein cereal, just some like canned stuff.
And chocolate almond. I think that's the Special K cereal. I could be wrong.
Protein bars, Luna bars. When I'm craving something chocolate, I like to have these.
You have a can of corned beef? Hormel corned beef? You have such a random, like, old woman-esque pantry going on here. This is crap my grandmother would have kept for decades. Decades in her pantry.
Keto thingies. Then over here, the chicken chips, and then some white cheddar rice cakes, which are delish.
They are. Highly recommend those. Put tuna salad on it, put egg salad on it, put a little bit of hummus and some fried eggs. Very versatile. No nutritional value whatsoever.
Okay, closing one hard left 9. Meeting number 2. G52. Bingo. Yeah. Yeah, 32. Oh, 63. Oh my god. B10. Oh, 62. B16. And 43. B7. G57. And 32. G50. Bingo. And let's check 2. Alright, so we got one. First one's good.
It was so hard.
Yes, we appreciate that. Any others? 71. We're within 3.
She looks so good with those eyelash extensions on her. They're really nice.
Hello. So it is actually the next day, June 29th. I'm not vlogging today, but I do want to like talk to y'all. So I'm just gonna like set you guys down like so. So
Because using a tripod would be ridiculous.
I want you guys to know that I am okay. The video about my breakup did go up yesterday.
I literally forgot she broke up with her imaginary girlfriend. I mean, I knew in the back of my head, I just forgot that it had actually happened. So, even though this one says, what happened with my ex, bear with me.
Today, and I'm getting a lot of DMs, and I'm good. I've had a lot of people say, just spill the tea, because we don't know Valentine's real name. We know nothing about Valentine, and that is very true. In my life,
She cut it out and didn't have something stupid to say about it. Good job. All right, anyway, I was talking about the siren. Before she gets into this, because I've already done this once, I want to talk about the principle of intent versus reception. This is a really good example, what we're getting ready to head into here. Amber has the intent of telling us about her imaginary girlfriend, who's totally real, you guys, and how that relationship evolved and was impacted. And what she's trying to do here is create the perception that she was involved in a relationship and that there was someone who was special and that that relationship really did end. And she's just trying to create this story because I think she finds comfort in it, honestly. I think in her head, she's created this Valentine character because it helps her feel wanted. And because we know Amber has a very hard time not being in a relationship. I don't think we've ever on her channel seen her without a relationship, even though she claims there's been a few times and there hasn't been. So this is one of those situations where I think this is more of a coping mechanism for her. But because it's Amber and it's her YouTube channel, she has to share everything with us to the point where like she gets caught up in her own lies. And I think this is one of those situations. So she's created Valentine as a coping mechanism for herself, but then also wants to project it outwards because it's important to her that we as the audience also believe that Valentine is real, because that's how she gets validation. Because now we're like, ooh, Valentine, mysterious girlfriend who drops $400 at a go on Legos to show how much she loves you, right? So this is an important thing for her. Amber intended this storyline to hit her audience with the same ahs and feels that you get when you start a new relationship, right? Anytime she starts a new relationship, everybody gets excited about who the new girlfriend is, you know, are they going to live together? You know, just the mystery of the newness of a relationship, right? It's just that's what she was intending to drum up here with this mysterious girlfriend, right? The reception is completely different. And Amber does kind of acknowledge it a little bit, I think, here in a minute, where she talks, where she's like, some of you don't believe Valentine is real. That's because I don't think Valentine was not real. I think Valentine was an amalgamation of a bunch of other, bunch of girls that she was courting and hoping that one of them would turn out to be Valentine. But I think Amber started the whole Valentine story before there was a Valentine. Does that make sense? Anyway, the reception of this story has not been what Amber was hoping for. And that's the difference between the intent and the reception. The reception is the audience's interpretation or reception of whatever it is Amber's trying to tell us, right? And the same thing is going to happen with the Ozempic story here when she talks about the semaglutide, or she already talked about the semaglutide. She's telling that story in a way to kind of drum up sympathy for herself and just her semaglutide journey that she's on, and it's also her setting the stage for further down the line. I haven't seen the next episode. I think it's a Q&A, but she might get into some stuff. Anyway, my point is she is setting the stage for this story, the semaglutide storyline to end. She's setting that up right now. So that's a lot of what that story was, but the intent of her telling us how the semaglutide is making her sick and it's not working, the intent of that was so that we as the audience can be like, oh, that's awful. If it doesn't make you feel good or if it's making you sick, you should totally quit. And it's okay if you don't want to stay on the drug because it's clearly not agreeing with you and it's not working anyway, so you should totally get off of that. The reality is, the reception that this is receiving is her audience, who have been here for more than one rodeo, are going, yes, this is the beginning of the end. This is the start of the excuses. This is, it is what it is. We all have seen this cycle coming to a close. That's what we're witnessing here. And that's the difference between intent versus reception. And I just kind of wanted to point those out because we were getting into it. It's also, I was going to say it's also power dynamics, but I just don't see that happening. The semaglutide story is definitely power dynamics because Amber's trying to get a hold of the storyline of the semaglutide before it gets out of hand. Right now, I don't see a lot of people going ham on it because there's really not a whole lot to talk about with it. It either is working or it's not. And she was losing weight. Maybe not as much as she could, but she was losing weight. And then her weight loss stalled within the first 4 weeks. I'll have to double check. But my point is last time she was on it, it took longer than 4 weeks for her to give up on it. And I know she's on like week 6 or something like that, but she also had that weird sponsored, not sponsored thing that she was doing that she didn't do. And what was the other part of that? Oh, and that how she was going to have to restart her injections at the low dose again, and she couldn't increase the dose because of this potential sponsorship and blah, blah, blah. But that's Amber trying to control the storyline before it actually gets out of hand. That's power dynamics. Amber's trying to be the one in control. And I've said a long time ago, Amber lost control of her story a long time ago. And this isn't helping her get it back, so.
Last serious relationship, it was with Feline, and you guys know a little bit more of her because she would talk in my videos. You'd see her hands, her legs, body parts. So there was...
She was definitely the most involved girlfriend you've ever had on this channel.
A little bit more like personal to personal with you guys in that regard. So that's why I didn't really...
Random floating body parts is totally more personal than an actual person.
Share much, like the real true deep stuff, like after the breakup. So people are like, just go for it. Just talk about it. You don't know Valentine. We never will know Valentine.
Because Valentine was not real.
So I think I'm just going to answer some like really hot questions. Ones that people have been asking or are asking, and ones that I just see a lot of. So a real big one is, how did you guys meet? Did you guys meet in person? So she actually messaged me on Instagram back in September, and we always had like a flirty thing.
Back in September. Oh, it was almost a year. You were almost fake girlfriending for a year.
We always had crushes on each other, and then it wasn't until, I would say, December, January, where my feelings started to get super deep, while hers was already there. It took me a hot minute to get to that point, and then it was February 14th to be exact. She asked to be my girlfriend.
So she was in love with you before you were in love with her because you were too busy breaking up with wifey.
And no, we never met in person, but we would video call every single day. So I knew like she wasn't
It's totally the same thing.
a catfish. And
have you seen the show?
And I believed everything she told me. I knew that she loved me a lot, but there was a lot of things that she did lie to me about. This is
If she lied to you about as much as you're insinuating she lied to you about, how can you trust that she loved you?
where it's like, I mainly don't want to share these things because I'm embarrassed that I had someone who loved me that hard, but would lie to me and betray me and do the things they did to me.
What is your definition of love? Because what you're describing is not someone who loves you, right? Someone who loves you does not lie and betray. That's just the antithesis of love. That's just how that is, right? You can have a strong emotional connection with someone. I wouldn't call it love. Obsession, maybe. Not being real.
Like, I just feel embarrassed to even admit it. So it's like, I don't even want to go there. But let's
Because I haven't made it up yet.
just say, like, she hurt me pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie. And the crazy part about this whole thing is that she was actually moving in with me August 1st. I know that's crazy. And I know there's still like a chunk of you who was like, Valentine wasn't even real. Valentine was very real. All of my closest friends knew about her. My mom had spoken to her. Like, Valentine was very, very real. And
Here's my thing. I don't believe Valentine was real. I think Amber started the Valentine story before she had somebody to fill the shoes of Valentine. And I think she had a handful or maybe two other people that she was trying to get one of them to be Valentine. And I think both of those have fallen through at this point. I think the first one was probably the girl that everybody effectively doxed as soon as she and Amber even were remotely public about their affection. And I feel like there was probably a third, maybe a second or third person in the background for Amber to keep the story going with. But I have suspected she's been trying to get somebody to move in with her recently because just the little things she's been saying, little things she's dropped here and there. And so I do believe that there might have been somebody that she was trying to convince to move in with her, under the caveat that that person has to be her girlfriend, and that might be the deal breaker because whoever it is probably doesn't want to be her girlfriend. Something like that. But I don't for a minute believe that there is an actual Valentine, right? I think Valentine is just a code name. For this particular relationship hunt, it's Project Valentine is what we're looking at here.
And we were going to be living together. A lot of betrayal happened. She got super distant, and I knew what I deserved in
Almost as if she didn't exist.
my life and what I wanted in a partner. And I knew that like that was not it. So
These are the same things she said when she broke up with Wifey. Wifey.
I broke up with her. It wasn't a situation where she like begged me not to do it or whatever, because I think at that point, like, she knew I deserved better and knew I deserved more. Knew I deserved someone who like didn't lie, cheat, betray, etc., etc. Like, it was really hard, but like looking back now, I don't regret being with her. I don't regret the time we shared together. But
That's a lot of body language that says, yeah, you do. She's got some body language here that definitely is her recalling something, but she also has a lot of deceptive body language here as well. So I think Amber has put forward some significant effort into wooing some girls that just it's not working out with. And I think the Valentine storyline has become too difficult for her to continue, so she's scrapping it to make room for a new storyline. Because I know in the next video, somebody asks her if she's single, and she's just like she does. So there might be a new imaginary girlfriend ready in the wings. But the Valentine storyline, I think, is just not serving her purposes right now, and so she's going to move on.
I do regret giving my all to someone who only gave me like half of themselves, and I don't ever want to put myself in a situation like that again, and I'm not going to. Like, she was very, very special to me and someone that I really did love, and it just sucks that sometimes like loving someone is
that I couldn't even quite work up an entire sniffle for her.
just not enough. And I was no longer going to make myself small by begging to be treated correctly. I wasn't going to do that. And I know that she has her issues and problems and a whole other life. She was literally living two separate lives.
But she wasn't catfishing me. Maybe she did actually get catfished. Maybe there is somebody who actually catfished her. And this is just her coping mechanism of it. Like, this is just her way of dealing with the fact that she got catfished and fell for it.
Like, I don't want to go into detail because it really is just a lot and it's like heavy. I don't want to spill all the tea, but I am giving you guys some drips, and I'm only doing it because it's almost like it feels like a weight is just like lifted off of my shoulders and my chest. Plus, you guys don't know Valentine, and you never will.
So I can totally just make shit up.
It didn't work out. Like, it just didn't. This isn't heartbreak era. This is like universe wants Amberlynn happy and it's gonna happen era. Anyways, I'm gonna end this vlog. I love you guys, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.
Bye. Oh, God. I think I've already said everything I wanted to say about the dark anthropology at the two moments where it happened, which was mostly just her setting up the end of the semaglutide storyline, and this whole fake girlfriend storyline has now come to a close. So if you have made it this far in the in the video, go ahead and leave a broken heart emoji. Because our girl is good anyway. But yeah, go with a broken heart emoji. Go ahead and leave that in the comments section down below. Let me know what you guys think. I know this is like 5 days old as of today, which is July the 8th. Dang, I'm good. July the 8th. So I know there's been some time to process this. And I pretty much said everything I was going to say, so I really don't have a whole lot to wrap up on. So thank you everybody who's been supporting the channel. Thank you to my subscribers. Thank you to my members. You guys rock. Thank you to everybody who's going to hit the thumbs up button. And again, if you've made it this far in the video, you might as well subscribe. And I will see everybody in the next one. Bye!
This is my outro music. You can't copyright strike me because it's just me singing. This is my outro music. Thank you for watching. See you next time.